Hey guys, Dylan Hornblum here at Harvard Stadium. It's football day. We're talking the Crimson versus the Dartmouth Big Green, and I'm excited to bring you all the behind-the-scenes action.
It's the Crimson and the Big Green in a New England rivalry game on Nesson.
You can start going with your intro.
Level 5, 3666.
We're going to get down to business, behind the scenes, chat with people, and figure out how this all comes together to create one awesome Harvard football viewing experience. All right, folks, we got a special treat for you here now. We're going to go into step number 1 in the game day process for fans, and that's ticketing. You want to get in the stadium, you got to get a ticket, and we're going to talk to the people who make sure that you can do that and make sure the whole process goes smoothly. Let's go chat with the ticket office, shall we?
We ticket 7 sports, so football, both basketballs, both hockeys, and both lacrosses, and we're in charge of making sure our fans can get in to enjoy all of our games. I think we've got a really great office dynamic down here. I love coming to work and being with the people on my team, and also then getting to kind of experience what our fans get to experience and provide them with the best game day opportunities.
Just in terms of the game itself, we work with multimedia to make graphics, to put stuff on the video board. We work with ticketing to get people to the games, to the pregame events. We're working with communications. It's just an all hands on deck effort throughout the athletic department with different departments, just working to make the fan experience as fun as it can be and making the game as enjoyable as it could be. And everything we got going on here, even before the game, we have games, we have food, we got live music today. It's just the whole day is an experience just outside of the football game itself, and it's just something that's a whole day of fun.
My role on football game days is to support our events group and work with our team to make sure that the game can happen and all of the different components come together. So that includes our home team, our visiting team, our officials, our field staff, including chain gangs, facilities group, working hand in hand with them, clock staff up in the press box, and our ball people.
Home games are generally pretty easy to set up, but our normal operation starts about 6 hours before the game and then wraps up about an hour after the game. Supervision during the game as far as equipment needs for student athletes, helmet repairs, shoulder pads, and then other needs.
During the game, we've got a team, it ranges from 5 to 10 folks, and we're all doing something a little bit different. A lot of the stats that you see, whether it's on gocrimson.com or if you're looking on your favorite sports app, when you see those stats, those are coming from our computers. I work closely with our TV and radio folks, and so when there's a halftime interview or a post-game interview, they coordinate through me. We try to get that done as best we can.
Now we have the public address announcer. Sir, go ahead and tell us your name and how long you've been working with Harvard Athletics.
My name is Chad Dale. I've been doing the PA since 1991, so this is my 33rd season. My grandfather did it for 60 years before I did. We've been doing this a long time, and it's a lot of fun.
What is your favorite part about Harvard football game days?
Favorite part? I would say just the excitement, the anticipation, and once the ball's kicked off and we're underway. I mean, you spend a lot of time preparing during the week, and then all of a sudden here it is, and it's like Christmas morning.
Yeah, I think being on the sideline and really getting to see how pumped up the players are is a really unique experience, and we've been doing great so far this season, so everybody's energy is really positive, and it's always fun on game day.
It's incredible. When you have the crowd here, a great day like you have at a Harvard-Dartmouth game, a Harvard-Yale game, Harvard-Princeton game, especially if the weather's nice and the student body comes out, it's awesome. It's fantastic. The energy here is fantastic.
My role for during the game is, of course, before the game, taping, get the guys ready to go on the field, also on the sideline. If any injury happens, I'll help them out. Usually we do daily treatment in the morning before the practice and game. We tape and whatever they need. Just try to get everybody ready to do practice or game.
In the stands, I've been lucky enough to catch up with one of the gurus in charge of all of Harvard multimedia efforts, Imre Halevi. Imre, how are you doing today? How are you enjoying Harvard football?
Great, Dylan. Everything is going great. We're up, 14-6 now. It's a great game. Everyone's having fun.
So what is your role with Harvard Athletics?
So we're actually doing 5 different things for every game. One is our broadcast, so people can watch at home on ESPN Plus every day on Nesson.
We have our video board shows that people here in the facility can watch. We have our social media presence. We have our stats on our website, and we also have our creative crew, which is something new that we added this year.
My favorite part, obviously from this year with so many wins, is seeing Coach Murphy jump into the pile with his teammates in the locker room afterwards. So let's hope that keeps going today.
And what kind of access do you get as part of the creative content team? How in-depth do you get to go with these players?
I mean, we're right there by the sidelines. We get to be in at the locker rooms, hearing what they're saying, hearing their thoughts before they're going into preparation. So it's really just been an eye-opening experience, and I can't wait for more of it.
Tremendous history here, obviously, built in 1903, the oldest cast and place concrete structure in North America. So game day for us actually starts in the middle of the week, if not earlier. Staging equipment, getting things into place, and we start set up on Thursday or Friday.
What is your favorite part of football game day?
Probably the favorite part is seeing all the prep and all the work that we've done in the week leading up to it finally pay off. Whether it's the ideas and the rough kind of discussions we had in our weekly commentator calls, whether it's the package that we worked on all week, and just kind of seeing everything kind of culminate and come together after all the different things you've done to prepare and get everything ready for it is really satisfying, and it's probably the most enjoyable part of the job.
It was a very impressive broadcast. Take us through a little bit of your mindset coming into a Harvard football game day. Obviously, a lot of prep goes into this. What is your process leading up to kickoff?
Just a lot of work with our producer and directors, everyone back downstairs that just help us really put the bones of the broadcast together, and he does a fantastic job with all the graphics. He really sets out a plan for the broadcast. It flows well, but it's a lot of communication, a lot of prep work, meetings throughout the week to make it all flow on Saturday.
Yeah, we usually have a production meeting earlier in the week with the producer, and we set up interviews with the Harvard coaching staff, talk to each one of the coaches, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, head coach. We talk to the visiting team coach, and as Tyler said, we prepare a lot of graphics, 3.5-hour broadcast, probably about 5-6 pages of graphics usually on a typical game.
Post-game, just as important. You know, the game's over, but we kind of just begin. Sometimes it's late at night, but we love giving back to the fans in this way, so we hope that they enjoy the stuff that we put out for football, and appreciate all of the interns, students, full-time creative staff that really put in a lot of work to make this stuff possible.